So welcome to a new Game Stuff episode, and welcome to another year of the Happy Console Gamer Show. We're on 14 years of doing this show now. I can't believe it. I've been doing it for 14 years, and time has gone by just like that, and here we are for the 14th year, and I'm super happy to be here, and very exciting year for video games. There's a lot of really good stuff coming out, and I'm going to talk about some stuff that I picked up last year and some stuff I got from my wife for Christmas and things like that, but all video game related. Some really interesting items I'm going to show today. The first item I'm going to show is one that I already got and I had to return back to Amazon because it was completely crushed, all the sides of it, and it was my game of the year and I wanted to get the perfect edition of the game. So I had to go on Craigslist, pay a little bit more money, but I finally got Shin Megami Tensei 5, the collector's edition, right here. And what a game this was. I was still talking to my wife about it and how much we enjoyed it. And to me, to have the perfect edition here really makes a lot of sense for me because we really care about the game. It's one of those things I'm going to put up on the shelf and just look at and go, wow, have that memory of that incredible game, and what an awesome premium edition, the Fall of Man premium edition right there. Okay, the next game is a game that is terrible to say. I'm not going to talk about too much today because I'm doing an entire episode where I really talk a lot more about it, and that is Lost Judgment on the PS5. I had to pick this up, and I've been playing it. Am I enjoying it? Oh yes, and we'll talk about that in the next episode that goes up after this one, for sure. So I will come to that one, don't worry about it. And because of that, I went and picked up Judgment on the PS5, and I already had the PS4 version, but I want to upgrade because I really love these games, and I really think that they're very underappreciated. It's one of those things that I really need to talk about a little bit more on the show, and that's why I'm doing it. And I during Christmas time, I was like, I have to pick this up. I have to have this part of the collection because these are really great games, great investigations, great combat, and a really fun story that goes on in there. And I'm always somebody that says that if I get a review copy of a game and I like the game, I will always go and buy the copy of the game. And that's what I did here for Tales of Arise. Me and Kim reviewed this game and we thought it was absolutely stellar, but we had a review code and I was like, I have to have the physical copy to show that I absolutely love this game. And what a game, right? It came out, and I don't think anybody realized of how good of a Tales game it was going to be, how good of an RPG it was. And I'm not knocking past Tales games, but they've had their quality up and down over the years. Some have been really good, some have been okay. This was really, really good, and Kim crushed this game, and we had a lot of fun. And for some of my friends, I won't say who, but they wrote to me and said that this game reconfirmed their love of video games again. They were kind of like on the fence thinking, maybe I'm not into games anymore, and they played this game and they're like, oh wait, I am into games still. And that's the kind of game it is. It's a really solid RPG, high recommendation. You can't go wrong with this. Okay, here's another game, Like a Dragon. Had to get the PS5 version. Love this game to death. I love the RPG mechanics of it. I love the story. I did a whole review on it last year, and I was super happy to talk about it then. Happy to show it now. And yeah, I'm kind of buying the PS5 upgrades on a lot of these games because they mean something to me. I really enjoyed them, and I'm kind of enjoying building up a PS5 collection. I'm having a lot of fun doing that, and had to upgrade to this right here. Okay, here's another one. I had to get this. Is from Pixel Heart, and it is Okinawa Rush. Have you heard of this game? It's a very interesting game. I saw some trailers on it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of interested in this game. It's a side view beat 'em up style game. You play as different characters, but there's ninjas in it. And I saw that, and I just love the pixel artwork of it, and I thought, this game, I have to pick this up, and I did. And there's a lot of different companies now making games. There's like, Strictly Limited, limited run games and stuff like that, and Pixel Heart. And yeah, I go in there and try to support all of these guys, especially when they're putting out really cool games like this. Okay, I had to snag one of these as well because, as you know, in the Christmas special, I'm not going to ruin it. Go and watch the Christmas special if you haven't. One of the presents, the appetizer gifts I get for Rob in it, is this, a Game & Watch Zelda version, and I had to get one for myself because this thing is just incredible. I love it. And Rob phoned me up when he got home that day, and he's like, dude, he goes, me and my wife are playing it and we think it's so awesome. Thanks again for giving me that to me. And I'm like, yeah, totally. And I'm like, I gotta get myself one of these. So I did, and I got the Mario one, and now I got the Zelda one. And yeah, as I say, the reason why these games are a huge big deal to us, the original Zeldas, they changed our way of thinking about video games. We'd never seen anything like that or played anything like that. And I love how they have the inclusion of Link's Awakening here for the Game Boy as well. They got Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link's Awakening. Super cool. So had to snag one of those. Okay, this book is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Oh my God. I remember seeing this book and I was like, I gotta get this book. I gotta get this book. And I saw a whole bunch of people reviewing it and I'm like, I gotta get this book. This book is so me. It is so me. And so many people are writing to me on Twitter, you have to get this book. And well, guess what? I got the book right here. Here it is. It's a guide to Japanese role-playing games. It is the definitive guide to Japanese role-playing games. Does it have every single RPG in here? No, it doesn't. I'm really strange. I was flipping through looking for really obscure Japanese titles, and they weren't in here. And of course, they can't have everything, but my God. I want to say something. I wanted to talk about this book for a bit. What I want to say about this book is, say you're a new person to the channel, say you're a new person to RPGs, and that's totally okay. I'm not a gatekeeper at all about RPGs. I'm like, come on in, have some fun, you know? But a lot of people write to me and ask me, how do I get into RPGs? Where do I start? I mean, I guess a lot of people look at it as like a book series in their mind, and which book should I start with? Where you can jump in anywhere. You can really jump in anywhere. But if you really want to find out about the history, and as I say, I'm not a gatekeeper. If you just play one RPG and you like it, that's great. If you know the entire history of RPGs, that's great too. But if you don't know very much about RPGs, that's totally okay. This book is for you then. This book is for you then. I highly recommend going through this. There's everything. They go through the Final Fantasy series, all of them. They go through the Shin Megami Tensei series. They go through Dragon Quest series, Suikoden series, Parasite Eve, Vagrant Story. Like, everything is in here. And I'm telling you, like, and I'm not saying it in some bragging way, I don't mean that, but I know a lot about Japanese role-playing games, and I know that just because I've been around since the beginning. I really enjoyed them. That's why I know so much about them. It's not that I have some bragging right. Who am I going to brag that to, right? But for me, my knowledge of it, I'm flipping through and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they have this game. Oh, I can't believe they're mentioning this. And really obscure stuff, like some Dreamcast games that Capcom released. And I'm just kind of fascinated that they're in here, and like lots of stuff like Kadash is mentioned. Thank God for that. The Dungeons and Dragons series, even though they're like an action RPG, they're here. And this book is a tomb, man. It's unbelievable how much work went into it, and I applaud everybody that worked on this book. I think you did an amazing job. I couldn't imagine taking this on, and look at the size of the book. It is the JRPG Bible. It is, and if you're trying to figure out your way through RPGs, this is the way to go. But even if for somebody who knows a lot about RPGs, this is the way to go. It's such an interesting book. There's so much history here, and you'll be flipping through it going, hey, what's that game? And oh wow, this game's still here. And you know, they mentioned that game. It's cool that way because there's so much included here, and they got it pretty much right. They got most JRPGs are in this book. Highly recommend it. Okay, this is a fun one. This was an interesting one. Christmas morning that Kim bought for me. Kim, my wife, bought for me. And I was like, what's this? And I could tell it was like a book. And then I pulled it out. This is a funny one to get Christmas morning, right? For me, it was like the awesomest thing. The Art of Death Stranding here. The Art of Death Stranding. A game that is absolutely crazy and insane and over the top. I love it. I do. I love it. And what I love the most about it is the art design of it. And get this is the first time I'm flipping through the book. I've been saving it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know what I'd recommend right now? Even if you're a fan of art. But even if you haven't played the game, like, check out the art book. Oh my God. The imagination that is going on in here is beyond reality. It's almost scary. It's almost scary. Oh, this is great stuff. I mean, for me, I think a lot of you out there will say, well, why do you collect art books? Why? Because I do art myself. And these books inspire me, and they make me go, my God, I've got a lot more to learn. And I've been learning art for, well, probably around 45 years now, since I was like 2 years old, starting to draw and stuff like that. You can always learn more, and I'm constantly learning with art. And these books, I flip through them and I'm just like, wow. Like, yeah, there's so much you can do with art, and it's unparalleled. Some of the artists out there and what their abilities and what they're able to do. I'm like, who taught you this? I mean, it's so nuts, but this is a great one from Kim, and I'm really excited to add this to the collection. Okay, I'm just randomly putting this in here. I'm telling you, as much as I don't want to believe it, Instagram ads work. They work. They do work. Because I'm flipping through on Instagram, just looking at some friends' pictures and stuff like that and all that, and I see an advertisement, an ad, and I'm like, oh my God, I really like that. And I don't wear these anymore. I used to wear hats all the time when I was younger. I don't know why, but I did. And my God, I saw this hat and I ordered it. I ordered it off an Instagram ad because it's a bit of dust on it. It's been sitting there for a couple of months, so don't mind that. I don't even think I'll wear it. Champion edition here, Street Fighter 2 hat. Now, when I was a hat wearer back in the old arcade days when I was 16 in the early 90s, if I walked into an arcade wearing this, I would have been a hero. People would have been like, where did you get that hat? Because merchandise wasn't what it is now. I mean, you can go get a Street Fighter shirt, a Street Fighter thing, or a Metal Gear hoodie. I mean, that just didn't exist back then. But let's just do. Oh my God! Oh my God! I look so funny wearing a hat. I got to do it like this way. I'll do that. It's so too funny. I ordered a goddamn Street Fighter hat off an Instagram ad. It's just I was like, John, what are you doing? You're getting nuts. You're getting crazy. And too funny getting a hat. But will I ever wear hats again? No. And one thing I'll say is, I was going to say it right in the beginning of the video. 14 years doing the show. I'm turning 48 next week, and the one thing, knock on wood here, I'm still thankful I have my hair. Oh my God, that's the one thing I'm like so thankful for. My grandfather had a lot of hair, so I don't have to hide any bald spots like Rob does, with a hat. I'm just joking. Okay, here we go. Some friends of mine on Twitter in Canada here, like FemTrooper, said, hey, oh my God, I'm gonna get this book. And I'm like, I didn't know this book was even coming out. I know about the book, but I know about the Japanese version. I didn't know there was a translated version of it. Akira Toriyama's Manga Theater, right here. What is this? It's a collection of his older short stories that he did back before he started Dragon Ball. It's kind of nuts to think about. And it's really interesting to look through, and you just see Dragon Ball everywhere. You know what I mean? There's the designs and all of that, and the cars and the cities and buildings and things like that. Very, very Dragon Ball, because that's his style. And I'm not knocking him. I picked this up in a heartbeat, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna sit down now that I'm showed it on the show, and I can go and read it. Because a lot of this stuff I keep piled up just to do the episode, and then I'm like, come on, I want to film the episode so I can go and get into a lot of this stuff, so I can finally read this, which is cool. Okay, Kim got me another thing for Christmas, and I thought this was so cool. I'm just going to show a few Blu-rays and talk about them real quick. The Goonies in 4K. Oh, love this movie to death. I absolutely adore it. Years ago, me and Kim went to Astoria, and we went and visited every single Goonies location, and that was a lot of fun. Love the movie. Had to get in 4K. Okay, some other ones here. Couldn't believe that this finally came out, and I could do an entire episode just on this alone. Project Echo came out from Discotech, and it came out, and it's the high definition Blu-ray version of it, which is a huge deal because I won't drag this out, but they thought back in the day that they lost the original master negatives of it, so there could never be a high definition version. Can you believe that? And so I was bummed, and they were talking about upscaling from a Laserdisc version, but still, that's mixed results there. But by pure coincidence, it was uncovered in Japan where somebody was looking for something else. They were looking for Maddox, and this was sitting next to it. Can you believe it? And he's like, hey, I should phone the discotheque guys up, and I found the negatives. That's Robert Woodhead, for sure, who found that. And so, crazily, he's looking in an archive for something, and Project A-ko was sitting there, the original negatives. So they took it and scanned it and all that. The one thing that I do want to say, I do have a nitpick with it. I love the documentaries on here. I love everything on here. And the picture's really great. The one thing that this movie was made in 1986, and boy, some of the old cells don't hold up. I mean, like even when the movie first begins and it's panning up in space, you can see the scratches on the cell. Like moving up, and it's like, oh, and you can see so much dust and scratches, and that just goes to show how far we've come with high definition and our televisions now, and all that, and this is getting blown up, and it looks the best it's ever going to look, and it looks good. Don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful, but it looks so beautiful that it shows all of its defects in there, and that's the one thing that is kind of sad. But I really wish somebody was getting rid of that dust when they were changing the cells back then. I mean, because this movie is an all-time classic. I first saw it in 1988 in a little shady back room on a wooden TV on VHS. I saw it with Rob's brother, like in 1988. It's crazy to think about, and we were shocked watching this movie. It just blew our minds. It was absolutely incredible. So really thankful that this finally came out, and I watched it the other night, watched all the special features all in one go. Super great, super great. Okay, one movie that I was all excited about, I talked about in the New Year's special, New York Ninja. I talked all about that there. I finally watched it. I couldn't wait for Rob. I'm like, over Christmas break, I'm like, me and Kim gotta watch this. So we watched it. How was it? It was okay. It was not bad. I mean, it wasn't like Samurai Cop. It wasn't like that. And so, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie. It's a bit of a laugh, but it's not as good as it was hyped up to be. And so, a little disappointed with this one, for sure. Okay, I just want to end with a couple of things here. I'll just quickly show this. When William Chow, the King of Smut 95, came over here, he gave me a box of some old stuff that, he was getting kind of rid of and stuff like that. And in it was a Turbo Force magazine. And it's the first one. I mean, for the TurboGrafx. This is the first newsletter magazine for the TurboGrafx ever released. I mean, this is worth its weight in gold to me. And when I was flipping through it, I was like, look through it. And it's just so amazing. This entire walkthrough of Eastbooks 1 and 2. And look at this. This is even still in here. It's not even ripped out. You'd think that would get ripped out. But look at this. It's beautiful. Look, it's so gorgeous. I can't believe it. I mean, this really means something to me. I mean, and that's why I want to come back on a camera and talk about this, because this is so cool to get Turbo Force issue 1 from back in the TurboGrafx days. That's my era, and something I really appreciate. Okay, we're ending now with a vinyl. I had to pick this up. Street Fighter Alpha 2. And I believe this is the arcade version. I don't believe it's the PlayStation 1 version. And that's okay, because Street Fighter 2 meant so much to me and Rob. It was our game that we played every single day, and we adore the music. It takes us right back to that time. And I already have Third Strike, and I was like, yeah, Alpha 2 is coming home with me. A lot of these things, I want to say it for these new GameStop episodes, are ordered 7 months ahead of time. And then it's sometimes because of vinyls and all that, the printings and all that, it takes 7 months to get here. So a lot of these things I got months ago, and some of them just arrived. It's kind of nuts. And yeah, so I've ordered a bunch of vinyls 9 months ago that I still haven't gotten, that still are not here. Even a lot of things from Limited Run that I've ordered is still not here. And I swear it's been 9 months for some of those things. So hopefully they'll send them soon. I know there's a bit of a delay in vinyl and stuff like that because of this pandemic-y thing we're going through, which is ridiculous. So anyways guys, welcome to 2022 of the Happy Console Gamer Show. I hope you guys are all excited about a brand new year in video games, because I know I am for sure. So anyways guys, until next time.